Okay, so I wanted to quickly take a moment to show off these lovely T-shirts that we got through Jacob Gross. I was on his Twitch stream the other day, and he had a little giveaway of some T-shirts he had boxed up ahead of time. Forgot which ones they were. They are both the same shirt. The G squared text on the front, G squared logo on the back, blue and black as the two options. The blue looks super bright and pretty and nice. The black looks very classy and normal, just, pretty nice. Anyway, wanted to point those out before I go on. Got them in the mail today, U.S. Postal Service. Thank you, Jake. And I wanted to quickly then take a moment to open up a yo-yo that I had gotten. I already have opened it up. It's not something that I haven't opened yet before. I got it out of the box literally the moment I got into the vehicle with it. And it is this G squared yo-yo I got through the draft. And so the December 2020 draft, I picked up this yo-yo, and it's very, very nice. It was like number 22 or 23 on my list of yo-yos that as I went down through, I think he was around 30, 32 yo-yos available. This one is the one that I wanted it at number 22 or 23, and that's not attesting to the idea of the draft being sad or unlucky. In fact, it's attesting to the fact of how great all of the yo-yos were that were available in that draft. And so we're going to look at that now. G squared unboxing December 2020 draft yo-yo. So this box is the classic G squared sleeve with a box inside, just like all of the others. It was inside of a Postal Service box like normal, with the yellow sticker saying functional art inside. G squared logo on the front. On the back, nothing. On the bottom, nothing. On the front, reveals what kind of yo-yo it is. It is the G squared Covenant. On either side, stylized logos, which I'm assuming those are guns. I don't know, honestly. I don't know anything about the whole Halo reference. But G squared Covenant, you slide the box out of the sleeve. Again, that same G squared logo as what's on the sleeve. On the front, it says Covenant. Of course, those two sides that show the logos. The emblems, nothing on the bottom. On the back, it says, caution, package contains functional art. And so that's a fantastic little statement there. And indeed, these are absolutely functional art. Jake's designs are absolute artwork, pieces of art. So this came from the drop of one of the drops in 2020. All of the yo-yos in the draft did, and I would have to say it was a fantastic year for G squared because all of them were yo-yos that I really was interested in. Aside from the respawns, I don't really want another respawn right now. G squared Covenant, a logo there for G squared Covenant, hashtag. Up at the top, G squared yo-yos, another hashtag to use in social media. As we open up the box, the Covenant. Now, again, the Covenant isn't a yo-yo I was actually all that interested in. I thought it was not that interesting to me. The rims look super thick and heavy. The little dimple in the middle, the little spike in the middle, it looked very sharp, and it actually is way sharper than what you would expect it to be, making me wonder why the whole project, I think it's Project C, why they were complaining about how sharp the spikes were. This one's awfully sharp. I mean, okay, it's a little small, but it's still sharp. This did have a string in it. I believe it was a diamond blend he put in here, nothing else in the box at the moment, as well as a pin. He threw a pin in the box, a little American pin, as well as a can koozie, which here is the Respawn Shark Week can koozie. Very nice. Thank you very much for that, Jake. But the yo-yo is, of course, the main attraction here, and this color is stunning. It's absolutely beautiful. This didn't look like, again, I'm going to say, didn't look like a yo-yo that I would be interested in. The Covenant didn't. In fact, the Covenants were the lowest on the list before the respawns for me. Like, if I would have gotten a respawn, I would have been fine. Getting a Covenant, I guess I would have been fine, But I really wasn't that interested because it just didn't look like my style of yo-yo. But looking at it now, feeling it now, just the subtle curves, the entire shape, the way it feels when you play it, there's nothing quite like it. I thought it would be super heavy on the string. It would feel powerful and heavy and a little clunky, but it doesn't. It has just that right amount of float that a yo-yo really genuinely needs. So again, absolutely lovely design, beautiful colorway. Unscrew the two halves here. You can see that bearing, that grooved bearing. Don't know if that's the Rage or the Ripper. I don't remember what his are called. Lovely clear pads. I don't think those are flowable. I think they're just clear pads. Yeah, they're not dimpled in. So they're just clear pads. Bearing is smooth as silk. Doesn't have much of a sound to it, so that's good there. Now, just as a comparison here to a couple of other yo-yos that I like, I do have my Mongu Duncan Counterpunch, which has a little bit heavier of a rim. Feels fairly similar in a lot of ways. The Mongu is smaller in diameter. The Mongu is wider in overall width. So, not by much, they're barely anything. The Arbiter, on the other hand, is quite a bit taller than the Covenant, and the diameter is basically identical between the two. The inner cup shape has that nice swooped curve on both. This has more of an organic rim section, whereas this gives you more of the V-sweep. And then the higher wall, turning it into almost an H-shaped yo-yo, but not quite. Flat dimple in the middle, or flat, I'm not going to call it what everyone else does, bump in the middle, pointed spike on this one, little ring around both of them. Very nice yo-yos. I love the Arbiter. It's actually only the second bimetal that I've ever played with, by the way, so that's a great one. But the Arbiter and the Covenant are very different yo-yos. So, quick check on the size. The diameter of my Covenant here, at its broadest point, says 55.7 on the metric scale, and then on the Arbiter, it's just that little hair bigger. 56.9. Is that true? Did I mess up on this? Ooh, yep, actually I did. So 56.9. So sorry, 56.9 on both the Arbiter and the Covenant. My Mongu Counterpunch here is not that. It is 55.7. So there's the size difference there. To weigh them in on the scale, and you'll have to pardon, this camera is not going to pick this up, but the G-squared Covenant, make sure there's no dust in there. G-squared Covenant weighs in at 64.49 grams. The Arbiter, this is without a string, weighs in 63.66. So 63.66 and 64.48. So about 1 gram difference. This is 64.91, the Counterpunch. That's about all I had to say about these yo-yos here today. Just the Covenant has been a huge surprise to me. It's a better yo-yo than I ever expected it to be. In fact, it's one of my absolute favorites. I haven't been able to put it down. It is the first yo-yo that I've been able to get consistent on doing boingy boing tricks with, which is huge because I've had a real struggle with it for some reason over the last few years. Not being able to get consistent and then not being willing to try. Jake said, oh, you can't blame the yo-yo on you being able to do a trick. It just clicked. But yeah, I think it was this. Anyway, great yo-yo. If they ever come up for sale, they are absolutely worth it. If I get the opportunity, I'll totally pick another one up in a different colorway. But this colorway is amazing, and I wouldn't mind having this colorway on basically every one of my yo-yos. So again, G2 Covenant, G Squared Covenant. Best yo-yo of the year. I'm glad that I was able to pick it up in the draft, and that's all I have to say about it. Anyway, thanks again for watching. I'll see you on the next one.